What is going on, everyone? On today's show, we've got some interesting stories, including Kick has been having major issues this week in multiple different ways. I want to tell you the story of what happened yesterday where people were left scratching their heads saying that I was still broadcasting all day long, even though I had ended my stream. In addition, Mortal Kombat 1 is officially done because it is going to be releasing a definitive edition, but this also has people scratching their heads because Ed Boon had said there was going to be much more content, so what happened? But on the flip side of that, a lot of people are rejoicing for the end of this game. And lastly, Steam has had a data breach. And for a day or two, everyone was freaking out about this, saying, oh no, all of our data is going to be exposed. Well, the truth of the matter has finally been reached, and it's not so bad. So we'll have all of this to talk about, plus the usual chill vibes, updates on all the games I'm playing, and more on today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast.
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back, the king of the live stream, the king is back. Woo!
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the, I almost said the Daily Wrap. Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast for Thursday, the 15th of May, 2025. I'm DSP, and we got a lot to talk about today. More stuff going down, and time to get caught up on all of it. We've got an interesting variety of games going on today, which I'm excited for. And of course, tomorrow's going to be even more interesting with a new fighting game release. I haven't played a fighting game now in a while, so that'll be pumped up and excited, right? I'm going to be geared up finally for some Street Fighter for the first time in ages. But I hope you're all doing well. And I hope that you're ready for a nice day of gameplay and fun here on DSP Gaming. What a contrast today. Starting off with more Doom the Dark Ages. That is right. I've literally played Doom every day so far this week since it came out, and I'm continuing on today. You know, I like the game that much. It's playing incredibly well on my gaming PC. With keyboard and mouse, it actually is controlling really well. And so I want to get as far into it as I can in the shorter time span. Usually I wouldn't do that, right? Usually I wouldn't play a new release this much, but I am having a great time with it. And, you know, it is a shorter game. People are saying probably around 20 hours. And if I can get 10 hours this week, 10 hours next week, that'd be great. Then we can maybe wrap it up and move on to other games because there are new games coming out for the next couple of weeks. So that's great. But then pairing that with a late night stream of American Truck Simulator, right? That's going to be a complete contrast and difference, you know, a super crazy adrenaline fueled hyper focused combat versus driving a truck around like an idiot, interacting with the audience. I actually owe you guys 5 minutes of driving blindfolded because I said that I would do that. And I'm going to probably be just like last time, having a couple White Claws or something while I play. So I have a little bit of a buzz while I'm trying to drive a truck, which will be pretty funny. So good stuff, right? Good stuff coming up today. Good variety of stuff. But tomorrow is the premiere of the Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which features a good variety of games. Capcom vs. SNK 1 and 2, Power Stone 1 and 2, Plasma Sword, Rival Schools United by Fate, also known as Project Justice, Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper. I think that covers it all. There may even be more than that. I mean, it's a great variety of games. Now, not all of those are considered super competitive fighting games, but it'll be fun to play the ones that are more competitive, like CVS 2 or Alpha 3, but then also jump into more party-like games. So I'm very excited for tomorrow. Haven't played classic fighting games in a long time now, so to jump into a new collection should be exciting, and, you know, everyone will be jumping in for day one to see how it plays online, and People will be trying out different characters and strategies, and I'm down for that. It should be a good one. Okay. So the rest of this week, next couple of days are great. I hope that you'll join me for them. And I just want to say thank you. You guys have been incredibly supportive this week. We're now at 66 out of 70 goals hit for support already. And we just did DSP tries it the other day. So pretty wild the amount of support I'm getting. And I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you for those who've been coming out to support in droves, and it's everything too. This week it's a good variety. It's people on YouTube with super chats and memberships. It's people on Kick with subs. It's tips. It's everything. That's great. Thank you so much. Now, I think what we should do, all right, let's get this out of the way. This technical stuff that's been going on. Kick has been a mess this week. And I don't know what's causing Kick to have all of these issues, but it seems like there's nothing I can really do about it. I've tried figuring it out, and I don't think that there's anything that I can do to improve the situation, which sucks. I want people who are watching me on Kick to have the best possible experience, okay? I want people who are contributing on Kick to be able to get credit for their contributions as soon as possible. And also, I don't want people to be getting messages or seeing misinformation and saying that I'm live on Kick, and then they go and I'm not there, and they're like, what the hell's going on? All this stuff is happening this week. And they don't seem to be talking about it, which is weird. I did contact support, so I'll tell you the story now of what's been going on. So first off, all this week, you guys have been supporting me on Kick with subs. And the weird part about this is half the time when you guys are giving, subs to the channel, I'm not seeing them right away. And what I mean by that is they don't pop up in the chat, or they're not popping up simultaneously in the chat or also in, say, the queue that says, here's what's happening on your stream, so you know what you can shout it out. And it's also not showing up in my revenue area on my Kick dashboard. So if I don't see that end of it, I don't shout it out because I don't know if it actually happened or not. We've had this issue on Kick where we've seen pop-ups coming through saying, oh, someone gifted so many subs, but then they're not there. All right. So it drives me nuts when that happens because I don't want to interrupt the stream with shout outs that aren't real. I don't want to count those towards our goal. Sadly, we have people who like to troll. We know this. On YouTube, we got people using VPNs to give out insanely discounted memberships. And I'm wondering if there's a way that people have found a way to game the system on Kick. Some people have said, who was it? I believe it was, what's his name? Is it Buckwell? Buckwell. So a day or two ago, Buckwell told me that what's happening is, let's say, for example, you have a debit card and the account has $40 in it. Okay. Well, you could still try to do a sub bomb of 10 subs on Kick, which would be $50. But what'll happen is it'll say you gifted 10, but then only the amount that you have for the amount that you can fund with will go through. So he said that he had tried to do a 5 bomb, but he could only afford 4. So actually 4 went through, but it didn't show up. Pop-ups came up, but it didn't show up in my queue. It didn't show up in my revenue. So I don't know what's going on. Then much later in the day, the stream had ended. And then hours later, it popped up in my queue and said, oh, it actually was real. So it's frustrating for me because, as you guys know, I want to give you credit for every piece of contribution that you give me. You guys crowdfund my activity. You're the one reason that I'm able to do this for a living, and I want to give you guys the credit you deserve. And it sucks when something like this breaks and it doesn't look like there's any real way that I can control it. It's a Kick issue. All right. So that's already been going on this week. But then another big issue started happening yesterday that really was bad. Let's talk about that. But first, before we do, I want to give out a shout out to Larry Hondo. Yeah, Larry Hondo did 2 super stickers this morning, both for $2. So let's get Harry up on the leaderboard. I want to give him credit because he's doing these right now, and I want to give credit before I forget. So thank you for that, Larry. So now we're up to $4 of support thanks to Larry. Okay. Oh, it's Lenny. Excuse me, not Larry. Lenny. I don't know why I said Larry. Lenny Hondo. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, Lenny. Okay. So this has been going on. It's been like 3-4 days. This issue with Kick subs has been going on. Now, all of a sudden, yesterday, another issue happened. So what is it? So for those who don't know the technical aspects of what I do, I co-stream. All right. I have a stream that I send to YouTube, but then I also have a plugin for OBS, that's Open Broadcast Software, the program I use to stream. And this plugin allows me to clone that stream at a different quality and send it to Kick at the same time. So if you watch on YouTube, you can watch at 1440p. If you watch on Kick, you can watch at 1080p, which is the maximum that Kick supports, okay? So I've been doing this for months and months and months, all right? Never really had an issue with it. Now, maybe once in a blue moon, a technical issue, but nothing big at all. Always something easy to figure out or fix. So yesterday, I'm co-streaming, okay, to both sites. And we're basically getting to the end of the first stream, the Clear Obscure Expedition 33 stream. Normally what I do is I say, okay, I got to end. So I'll go over here and I'll say, end the YouTube stream, end the Kick stream, and it just all turns off and we're good. Then what I do is I will do all my stuff with uploading videos, and then I check the Kick stream because the Kick stream should have ended, and then I can update the Kick stream with the new title, the new game, so you guys know what's coming up later in the day, and I can put the time that it's going to start, so people who are joining my Kick channel will say, oh, okay, he's going to be playing this game at 6:45 p.m., okay? So I do this right after my first stream ends, after like maybe 15 minutes. So I'm doing my normal thing. Okay, I'm ending the streams. I'm working, uploading, and all of that. And as I'm about to set up the Kick stream for the night stream, the new title and game data, it says you're still broadcasting. How could I still be broadcasting? OBS isn't even open on my PC. So just for the sake of argument, I opened OBS again. No, it didn't say I was broadcasting. I wasn't broadcasting anywhere. I wasn't sending any data anywhere. But Kick said my stream was still live. But the weird part about it was there was nothing on the screen. It was like blank. Like my offline screen was there, but it said streaming and number of viewers and all of this. And I'm like, well, this is all screwed up. Like, what is going on here? Right? So obviously this is not correct. Now, I didn't know what to do, and I thought maybe it's just a weird bug. Maybe this thing will fix itself. And when I come back for my late stream tonight, it'll be resolved, right? Because sometimes tech issues just resolve themselves, right? So I come back for my late stream of Doom the Dark Ages, and it still says it's broadcasting. And I said, uh-oh. So this is not good. What's going to happen here, right? So I change the title and everything, and I actually start streaming this time, Doom. The stream resumes. And I'm like, so it's working. People can see the stream. But then as I checked all of my data, what it is, I have a queue. Excuse me. I have a queue for like partner information. And what it said was, you were still broadcasting on the same stream from this morning. There was no new stream. It was the same stream continuing on. And I said, that's not good. What does that mean? What does that entail, right? Because typically what happens is when I end a stream, it'll cut off. It's like, okay, that's the end of the stream automatically. And then it takes like maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then it'll update and say, okay, your stream has been validated for the partner program. Here's how long it was. Here's how many viewers you had, and here's what you made on it. Okay? Now the stream was just continuing and not ending. Well, that's not good. What does that mean for the partner program? I don't know what's going on. So about halfway into the Doom, the Dark Ages stream, I said, guys, what I'm going to do is a test. I finished my first hour of gameplay. I said, I split the video for recording. I'm going to stop broadcasting on Kick, and I'm going to start broadcasting again. And I want to see what happens if I do that. Okay? So I stopped broadcasting. I started again. And the weirdest thing happened. Kick now said I was broadcasting 2 streams at once on the same channel. It said that the original stream from earlier in the day was still running, but that I had started a whole new stream as well. Now, on top of that being bizarre, the viewer count for the Kick stream froze at 12 viewers and did not increase for the rest of the night. even though there was definitely more than 12 viewers. Actively, at any time, we usually have around 20 to 30 chatters. So you have more than 12 viewers. The chat was moving at the normal rate. So obviously there was some problems going on here, right? I don't know what's happening. So I said, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I'll just finish the Doom segment. So we did. We played Doom for 2 hours, and I said, all right, guys, I'm going to go offline here, and we'll see what happens. So I went to go offline, and it said, well, now your stream did end, but the original stream from earlier in the day was still going. No, it's not. I'm not broadcasting. Why does it say the stream is still going? To make matters worse, it did finalize the data for the partner program for the second half of the Doom stream, and it said, I only had very few viewers, so I made like $1. What? I know I had my usual viewership. So the glitch, the view counter glitch that happened that said 12 viewers, screwed me over. And Kix basically said, we're going to pay you like $1 for the stream. What the hell? All right. So now I'm going real confused. So I then proceeded, as I was filming the daily wrap, to do a couple tests. What I was trying to do was see if I started and stopped the stream, how Kick would react. And also I tried changing the stream key. I thought, hey, maybe if I change my stream key, it'll actually create like a brand new fresh stream in Kick's system and stop broadcasting this other stream. No matter what I did, nothing worked. Okay? Now, the good news is, when I was broadcasting, it did seem like the viewer count did fix itself. So even though that first stream had said, 12 viewers, it jumped and said, now, we're like 60, 70 viewers again. So I was like, all right, at least it seems like that'll be fixed. But if everything keeps adding to this existing stream that's never ending, this is going to be a huge problem. All right? So I didn't know what to do. I ended the stream. I said, I tested for like a half an hour. I couldn't get this to stop happening. So finally, I wrote Kick support. Okay? And I'm going to be honest, because I'm an honest guy. Kick support didn't help me at all. The people who work at Kick support are line level people who sit probably in a call center style office, and all they do is read form letter responses, or they pass off the information to another department to fix. But for the most part, just like all customer support, all right, Kick support is there to get you off the line and stop bothering them. Like literally, I get the feeling that's probably how they're judged, their criteria. Did you get that customer to stop talking to you in the shortest amount of time? Where we could say, that the system was closed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I contacted the Kick support. I explained the whole situation. At the same time, I also sent one to tech support, because there's two different things you can send logs to. You go to regular support or tech support. So Kick support immediately responds to me like within 5 minutes and is like, well, can you send us screenshots of what you're talking about? Sure. So I sent a screenshot of the screen showing that this stream was still running even though I wasn't broadcasting. Okay? Then I sent a screenshot of my actual Kick dashboard showing that it said I was streaming live and all of that. And I said, I assure you guys, I'm not streaming. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it says I'm streaming when I'm not. Yeah, I know. People are saying my shirt's not even. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe more like that. I don't know. It's like not even or something. Well, you're just going to have to deal with it. All right. I didn't make the shirt. Okay. So anyway, I send these screenshots. So now I'm relaxing with my wife. It's late at night. I was in the office an extra like 40 minutes trying to figure this out, and I couldn't. So already I've wasted a whole lot of time on this, and I didn't get anywhere with it. Okay. So then I said, well, what are we going to do? I'm going to wait for support to get back to me. So I spent some time with my wife, and then as I'm about to go to sleep, I checked my email. They'd emailed me back. Okay, so can you now send us screenshots showing us evidence of what you're talking about? I said, that's what I just did. So I came into the office and I took screenshots again. All right. And I sent them different ones, because the thing is, on the mobile app versus the desktop, they look different. It's the same data, but it looks different. So I took a different screenshot. I sent it again. I tried to like step by step explain to them how it works. Like, this is how it works. This is the queue. This is where it shows my archive stream. This is when it says if it's running or if it's done or if it's been validated. This is showing if I'm live or not. And this, you know, you got to talk to them like they're a 4-year-old because they don't know anything. They literally just sit in an office and have like step-by-step instructions of how to do things. They don't understand the site. So I'm trying to explain to them, here's how it works, right? So then they respond back to me again. Now it's like the middle of the night. And they go, oh, well, we don't see what you're talking about anymore. But we do know that yesterday when you were streaming, there were site-wide issues with viewer counts. The viewer counts were glitched across the entire site, and therefore that's going to affect things, okay? So I said, what do they mean? I don't understand what they're saying. So I came back in here in the middle of the night and I checked. It had seemed to resolve itself. So finally, it was like ridiculously long. I mean, I had stopped streaming at what, like 10? So this was like maybe like 12, 1 in the morning. So 3+ hours had passed. Now the stream didn't say it was streaming anymore. Okay. But now it had said your stream ended, validated that your stream actually only ran 5 hours rather than like 11, which is what it had said on the page. And you have earned $0 for your stream. Huh? So I wrote back to them and I said, it's great that the stream ended, but it's telling me that I'm not getting any earnings for anything I streamed yesterday. $0. This is obviously not correct. Can you look into it? And they said, oh, no, it's all correct. You know, our viewer data was wrong and your payment is based on viewer data. So because viewer data is glitched, we can't pay you. Now, at the end of the day, it's actually not a big deal. It's one day's revenue. And I didn't have a giant stream yesterday where I had thousands of viewers and I was going to make big bucks or anything. You know what I'm saying? But literally they said, it's our problem. We screwed up. We acknowledged that the view counts were wrong yesterday and we had site bugs. But by the way, because of that, we're not paying you. Think about that for a second. Let me think about how well that would hold up in court. Not that it matters. Again, and I actually did respond back and I said, listen, I don't care about the lost day. I really don't. It's not a big deal. I'm actually grateful that you guys are even paying me in the partner program. I don't give a shit that I lost a day. But I need to know that this issue won't happen again. Please forward this to your tech team. And that's where we left it. Now, the entire question here is, I wonder, did the actual issue on my stream get resolved because I also had emailed tech support? Now, they never responded, but maybe someone in tech support looked at it and said, oh, crap, this is a glitch stream, and just ended it on their end, right? And then it's good. But I don't know. I don't know what actually ended the stream because it was running for over like 12 hours, and I couldn't end it. My problem here is I don't know if it's going to happen again. It very well may happen again where it shows that I'm online. I'm not online. There were people that were very confused. They were coming by saying, it says you're live. What are you broadcasting? Wait, there's nothing here. People, I guess I gotten a notification that I was live and thought, oh, he's still live. So they were joining and there was nothing there. Okay. And I do want to say thank you because last night when I was doing all this technical troubleshooting that went nowhere, Ether335 actually gifted 6 subs to the channel while I was doing the troubleshooting, and then someone did a $20 tip. So thank you guys. I mean, I appreciate you. I guess they were just around and they saw that I was having issues and they kind of felt bad or something, so they tossed some support. And I'm like, well, thanks. I mean, obviously, you know, it's not a normal situation. You didn't have to do that, but it was very nice of them to support the stream when I was having this pain in the ass time last night. Okay, so is there a resolution? Well, as I said, as of right now, okay, it says I have over 60 viewers. It says that I'm broadcasting. It says I'm multi-streaming. It seems that everything is being tracked and working properly from what I can see. But it doesn't necessarily mean anything because at first it looked correct yesterday too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going to happen here. Hopefully it will work and we don't have any errors. If we have errors today, as you saw, I put a pinned message in Kick Chat today, said in advance, you know, I apologize for any technical issues. I hope there's none, but I don't know what's going to happen with that. If people gift subs on Kick, I might not see them and I might not shout them out right away. I might go to end the stream and then it won't end. I don't know. I hope everything works fine, you know? And I mean, it is a bummer that I tried to get help from Kick support and essentially they wouldn't help me. And then they said, oh, by the way, we're also not paying you because of a tech issue on our end. Like, how does that work exactly? Right. But again, it's not a big deal. All right. It's not like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. I would have been pissed if that happened like during my marathon last week where I was broadcasting all day and I had tons of views and actually made some decent money on that stream. Then I would be upset. But in this case, hopefully it's just the one day and now they did fix it. And hopefully this is something that they can fix again. Like if it does happen again, I can write them another support log and they can have the tech team stop the stream or whatever. But I hope so. You know, I hate technical issues like this because it's not my control. You know me. I'm the kind of guy, I like to control the situation. I like to be sure that everything that I'm doing is, you know, within the confines of what I want to do, when I want to do it. I like having a set schedule. I like having everything working. I don't like having things out of the realm of control. And it drives me nuts. It actually is still bothering me right now that I don't know how to fix it if it happens again. Like, I don't care if the tech glitch happens, but if I have a way to fix it myself, so that way I don't have to worry and rely on others to fix the shit, you know what I mean? But I can't. Like, there's nothing I can do, and I don't even know what's caused it. So, I guess we'll see what happens. All right? Hopefully nothing. Let's find out. Apologies that it was so confusing yesterday, and hopefully we don't have this ongoing issue today. Okay? Cool. In the meantime, Lenny Hondo did 4 more super chats. Let's see. 150, $2, 150, 150. So that's the equivalent of 650 right there. So thank you, Lenny. So that means we're now up to $10 of support, all from Lenny. Thank you, Lenny. Now, that being said, okay. That being said, FYI, yesterday we had lots of support. We're now at 66 out of 70 goals. And yesterday on this very show, we determined that it will be Subway as the next episode of DSP Tries It. Now, people were coming on the stream yesterday asking me, well, what are you going to get from Subway? Well, we're going to do 3 sandwiches. We're going to do tuna. We're going to do some kind of rotisserie chicken because the last time I had their chicken, it was that disgusting white meat grilled chicken. It was flavorless and gelatinous, and I want to see what their rotisserie chicken is. And we're going to do a third. I don't know if it'll be steak. I don't know if it'll be like lunch meat. A third sandwich. Okay, so 3 sandwiches to try 3 different things. And I'm going to get one of their snacks. They have either this footlong nachos, Doritos nachos, or footlong cookie. I'm going to get one of those. All right? So, obviously, this is going to be interesting. I haven't had Subway in 8 years. I used to, I always rag on Subway because Subway was good back in the day. And then after a while, they got really bad as they basically became a franchised business that spread so far that their quality went way down. Kind of like the McDonald's of the sandwich business when you think about it. So this will be interesting because Subway in the last several years has changed. They now fresh cut their meat in-house, supposedly. Like I said, they have a new chicken. They reformulated their tuna. They supposedly are doing everything different now. Okay? So let's see what happens. And I'm curious when we'll hit the goal. And I'm curious if the food will be any good. Okay? So let's get some support today on stream for the continuation of Doom the Dark Ages and, of course, for the podcast. Everything is greatly appreciated. Super chats and super stickers. Memberships and gifted memberships on the YouTube side. Subs and gifted subs over on the Kick side. And, of course, tips, which can go between both. All right? So, let's get some support other than Lenny. Lenny, I appreciate your support, but one man alone just can't do it. We need to have some buy-in from everybody else. Let's get some support from various sources if we can right now, guys. And let's get our first super chat, our first membership, our first sub, and our first tip right now. Let's do it. Okay. Soup Dupe says, I've heard from other streamers, contact Kick support immediately if you see view count screwed up. Oh, yeah? Well, it's the thing, like, from what they said, they can't do anything about it. They said they were aware of the glitch, but they couldn't fix it. So, you know, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Okay. So we're gonna get some support or what? All right. We have two stories I want to cover today. All right. The first story I was trying to get, I couldn't find the full statement. I'm gonna see if I can find it right now because it was pissing me off. See if I can find it. So here it is. This is what I was looking for. Here it is. Okay. So FYI, yesterday I was live streaming. And as I'm live streaming, people start contacting me in the stream chat. Phil, are you aware of the Steam data breach? Are you aware that everyone's data is at risk, that everyone's data has been put all over the internet? And I'm thinking, what are they talking about? Right? Like, first of all, when they say data like that, you think, so what data would you actually put into Steam? Right? Probably your name, probably an email address, password for your Steam account, right? Outside of that, like for example, payments and stuff, they don't store that data on Steam, right? Like for me, I don't have like any data, card data or anything stored on Steam at all. All right. All I have is my PayPal account. And to use PayPal, you have to actually do a third-party login system with an app and everything. So it's all stored outside of Steam. Maybe some people do put like a whole bunch of information into Steam. And so they started like pooping themselves, freaking out, thinking, oh no, is my payment information at risk or something? But for me, like, I try not to do that kind of stuff. I try to do it in a way that there's always like it has to connect with another service that validates identity and stuff like that. I don't want these companies storing my data. You know what I'm saying? At all. So maybe I'm just a little bit more careful than a lot of other people. I don't know, right? But people, I guess, were completely freaking out about Steam having data that maybe got leaked. So people freaking out in my chat yesterday. Were you aware? Did you hear about this? And I'm like, I didn't hear anything about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not going to freak out about it. All right. I'm just going to be calm and collected and we'll, look into this later, try to figure out exactly what is happening, but let's not go crazy about it. Okay. So I didn't. And, I just kind of chilled. And Steam hadn't come out and said anything official about it yet. And I said, well, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. Who knows? I guess we'll find out when we find out. Right. So this morning, I say this morning, but it was basically overnight. It was like 3 a.m. or something crazy like that. Steam came out with an official post explaining the situation. It says, wait, 3 p.m.? Well, I guess this came out yesterday at 3 p.m. I thought it was overnight, but I guess I'm wrong. FYI, it's just not so bad. Everyone was freaking out about this, right? Thinking, oh no, all our data has been exposed. It's not. So what happened was, at one point, Steam was using unsecured SMS messages, which is essentially, text messages or other data messages to send like reset password codes to people who had like lost access to their Steam account. And basically, these somehow were never encrypted and someone got access to them. They're trying to figure out how it happened because apparently what they're saying is there was no breach at all. I guess this history of these messages was just not stored well or something. I don't know. But what they're saying is don't worry, no data was breached at all. It's not a big deal. The only data that could have been exposed was basically the reset password, but the reset password is only good for 15 minutes. And this is ancient, this is old messages. This isn't like, oh, this happened yesterday or 15 minutes ago. This is, a history of these messages over time. They're not good anymore. These passwords don't work anymore. In addition, they're basically saying, yes, there were phone numbers there, but the phone numbers aren't associated with anything. Like there's no, in the text, it doesn't say, oh, your account name is this and here's your password. It doesn't say that. So if someone's just looking there staring at the text, all they have is a phone number and temporary password code, and that's it. They wouldn't even know whose number it is. Like, there's no data to link an identity to the phone numbers. So it's not a big deal. People were freaking out whenever they hear data breach these days. They freak out about this stuff. And I guess rightfully so, because, identity theft and these issues is prominent. I've had issues where all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I start getting charges on a credit card. And I'm like, what? And you look into it. Yeah, someone had a spoofer or something somewhere. You used your card at a store and it had a reader and they got your number. And now they're actually trying to use it. Sometimes, I mean, what was it? A year ago, 2 years ago? I got word that someone was trying to use my debit card, but they didn't have the PIN to use it, so that it was declined. I'm like, how the hell did they get my debit card number? Right? I don't know. But it happens all the time. I actually remember, this was a long time ago, over like a decade ago. I went on a trip to go to a Street Fighter tournament. I come back home and I start getting all these messages. Someone is using your card in across the country. What? And it was like, yeah, someone in like Miami was trying to use your card. Like, how the hell could someone in Miami be using my card? Because they cloned it. They somehow, somewhere along this trip, right? Somewhere along this trip that I was going, they had cloned the card and were trying to use it. And what happens is when the card sees transactions across the country, they'll actually, freeze those transactions and send you a notice saying, this is like fraud prevention. Is this really you? Probably not. We prevented the transaction. And it was like charges for like a hotel and a restaurant. So someone was trying to go on a vacation on my credit card, basically, and I wasn't involved with it, So I can definitely see why people would be freaking out, with a Steam leak and think, oh no, all my data was in there, and now you're gonna get all your stuff, used against your will or whatever. But luckily, it wasn't that big of a deal. Basically, Steam is saying, no worries here, this data is useless, and we're looking into how it even was being stored so unsecurely to begin with, but it's not a big deal, it's not going to affect anyone in a negative way. So I guess that's good news. If you heard about it yesterday, you were freaking out. You don't have to freak out. Everything supposedly is good. Okay? Cool. Okay. I received $1 tip, and all it says in it is Subway. So thank you for the $1 tip, person who wanted to say Subway. You're the first tipper of the day. Thank you for that. So Subway, I'm going to actually say it was Subway who tipped me. Thanks for the $1 tip. I love it when a major company who I'm about to taste test their food sends me contributions on the stream, getting me closer to said taste testing. That's awesome. Very good. Subway. Okay. We have one more story to cover today. This one is interesting. So, as you guys may or may not remember, back in September 2023, Mortal Kombat 1 released. And it released right in the middle of this big block of big high-profile fighting games. We had Street Fighter 6 that came out June 2023. Mortal Kombat 1 came out September 2023. And then Tekken 8 came out January 2024. So this one was the one wedged between, like a fighting game sandwich. Okay? Hopefully it tastes better than Subway. But the problem was, Mortal Kombat 1 was a big disappointment, even though Mortal Kombat sold more than both Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 at the time of launch, okay? The consensus was Mortal Kombat 1 was a humongous flop when it came to the quality of the game, the longevity of the game, people talking about the game, playing the game in tournament settings, etc. Like, you could watch anyone be playing Street Fighter 6 or Tekken 8, and you could look at, like, total views, right, of who's streaming, and the stream numbers would be, like, 3, 4, 5 times as much as Mortal Kombat 1. Mortal Kombat 1 died off within, like, 2 months, all right? Now, there's many reasons why this happened. I mean, I've already outlined them, but in a nutshell, number one, the gameplay is awful. They actually reverted the game from many of the advancements it made in Mortal Kombat 11, and it just doesn't play as good. they added in these assist characters called cameos that actually make the game significantly worse. It becomes more broken and stupid. It's not a straightforward fighting game anymore. And it's worse because of that. Everyone was skeptical about cameos when they were announced because there's been assist characters in fighting games before. And everyone was like, is NetherRealm going to do it correctly? No, they didn't. They literally botched it completely. Okay. Number two, the game played horribly online. Compared to both Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8, the online connections of Mortal Kombat 1 sucked ass. They would have over 100 millisecond delay. They were just like not playable for competition. So you couldn't even really play the game seriously because half the time the game was laggy as hell. Okay? The story, it sucked ass. Instead of doing an original concept, which they had done over the last 3 Mortal Kombat games, they rebooted the reboot, meaning they already did a reboot in Mortal Kombat 9. Now the plot line is, the timeline's resetting again. You already did that. You already did that. Why are you doing it a second time? You know what I mean? Like, it happened once. You're doing it a second time? Yeah. And it became a multiverse concept that was terrible. Who hasn't done a multiverse at this point? We already had the Marvel and the Multiverse of Madness and the Kang Dynasty bullshit. And then we had the Everything Everywhere All at Once movie. And then everyone wanted to do multiverse, right? So everyone's doing it. And then they said, well, we'll do it too. You can't be 10th to the game and expect that it was going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's idiotic. So anyway, it was bad. It was just a big shit show from the get-go. So people stopped playing this game relatively quickly. And then on top of that, they tried to push and shill their stupid-ass season pass. Oh, you need all the guest DLC characters. It's like, if your core game sucks, why are we supposed to get hype for more characters that aren't even part of your universe, right? Like, I don't care that Omni-Man is in the game. I don't care about fucking Ghostface. Like, what are you talking about? Your game is terrible. I don't want to pay more money to play as a gimmick character from another franchise or IP. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was announced yesterday during the course of the day that Mortal Kombat 1 is receiving a definitive edition. Okay? What does that mean? I'll show you. The definitive edition of Mortal Kombat 1 is a version that's now being sold digital only, by the way. There is no physical disc copy for this game. What a shock. It includes the base game. It includes the DLC expansion, which was a story expansion that everyone hated, for the record. Like, people were like, wow, the story is terrible. What a horrible expansion. It includes all 6 guest characters, skins, and other content. So basically, it's all the content of Mortal Kombat 1 for the low, low price of $70. I want you to think about that. This is a fighting game that came out in the fall of 2023. It failed within 2 months. It's hard to even find people to play the game against because it was awful and no one liked it. They then nickel and dimed their customers for a year and a half for 6 DLC characters, and now they're selling the game again for $70 as if it's a new game when it still sucks and no one's playing it. So sadly, you know what's going to happen? People are going to fall for this. They're going to be like, oh, Mortal Kombat 1, I get all the content, and they're going to buy it, even though the game's trash. So there's basically 2 different reactions to this announcement. One is confusion and disgust, and the other is rejoicing. All right? So first, let's cover the confusion and disgust. All right? So why are people confused? Oops. They're confused because got to find the interview here. Ed Boon was interviewed over the course of Mortal Kombat 1's run, okay? And when they interviewed him, I can't find the interview now. It was here, and now it looks like Twitter updated and they removed the interview. So they interviewed him, and it's just this, you can find it. It's an interview. He's at Omelet. What is Omelet? I have no idea. It's spelled Omelet. It's an all yellow stage. It's hideous, okay? I'm looking for it now, but I don't see it anymore, so maybe it's out of the feed now. So they interviewed Ed Boon. For those who don't know, Ed Boon is the head of NetherRealm Studios, okay? And they said, So what are your plans for Mortal Kombat 1? Yada, yada, yada. And he goes, so what we're going to do is this is going to be the biggest roster in Mortal Kombat history. We're going to have more characters that, yeah, it's not here anymore. We're going to have more characters than ever before. All right. And we're going to have multiple years of content. You can expect there's going to be 2, 3 years of content for this game. So don't worry, if you're big into Mortal Kombat, you can invest in Mortal Kombat 1. This is going to be the biggest one we've ever done. Okay. So now here we are, a year and a half into the game's release, arguably almost 2 years. Does it have a big roster? I mean, it does, but that's because half the characters are cameo only. They're not actually playable characters. They just come in for an assist and they leave. You know, I don't remember in Capcom, excuse me, Marvel versus Capcom 1 or 2, I don't remember Capcom saying, oh, this is the biggest roster of characters because we're counting the assists as playable characters. They didn't do that. But apparently NetherRealm did do that in order to say, oh, the biggest roster in Mortal Kombat ever. They basically lied, okay? And then to say, oh, there's going to be, you know, so many seasons of content, and there was only one. There was one season with the 6 characters and the one story expansion, and now it's all over. It's done. So basically, people are really upset that Ed Boon said all this publicly, acting like Mortal Kombat 1, they were going all in. You know, you have to remember something, that for about a decade, what NetherRealm was doing is they were alternating back. Oh, here it is. Oh my God. Here's the interview. Hold on. I had it in another tab.
And we're going to work on the game for years to come. So we'll be releasing more story will be coming. So a lot of and we're going to.
That's just one clip from it. I actually saw a longer clip that's like a minute. But essentially, that's what Ed Boon said. Oh, we're going to be working on this for years to come. More story, more expansions. And it never happens. Okay? Now, in regards to what they had been doing, all right, in regards to like NetherRealm had been alternating. First, they would do a Mortal Kombat. So they did Mortal Kombat 9. Then they did Injustice. Then they did Mortal Kombat 10. Then they did Injustice 2. Then they did Mortal Kombat 11. So, of course, everyone thought, oh, Injustice 3, right? But then they never made Injustice 3. They said, we're going straight to Mortal Kombat 1. Okay? And then Mortal Kombat 1 came out, and everyone's like, oh, this kind of sucks. So, big disappointment. So, when's Injustice, right? So, people are upset because they're like, we skipped Injustice for this. This is what you put all your efforts into, and it was bad. So now, the other school of thought, people who aren't so upset, they're actually rejoicing. They're saying, yes, Mortal Kombat 1 is done. We're so happy because it sucked. And for 2 years, this is all that we heard from NetherRealm. Hopefully now, we're actually going to get something else out of NetherRealm. Maybe now they'll announce Injustice 3. And funny enough, because we were actually, as I was scrolling through, I saw it. This post just came out of nowhere. NetherRealm had not mentioned Injustice on any of their social media or anywhere in a very long time. And then all of a sudden, Warner Brothers Games on all of their accounts posted up this post yesterday. Order versus Chaos versus Vengeance. How do you rank them? And these are characters from Injustice 2. Why, out of nowhere, would WB Games now be making posts about Injustice 2 out of the blue? So some people are speculating with the announcement of MK1 Definitive Edition yesterday, and now these posts going up on WB Games Twitter, this means that Injustice 3 is in production, and likely we're going to get an official announcement and information about it during Summer Game Fest in the first week of June. Now, keep in mind, this is pure speculation. It could literally just be coincidence, but it is kind of suspect that they haven't talked about Injustice in so long, and then out of nowhere, they drop a post about it while they're also saying, hey, by the way, MK1 is done. And, of course, with Summer Game Fest right around the corner and that being an absolute prime time for them to announce it, yeah, it seems like the planets are aligning for something, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a surefire bet. I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket, as they say. I'd be like a little skeptical that something actually will happen. DoomFan98 just said in the chat, James Gunn visited NetherRealm months ago, so Injustice 3 is likely the next game. Would I like Injustice 3? Well, here's the thing. Injustice 1 and 2 were fun, but the online play sucked. They were laggy. For example, there's entire characters based around going around projectiles, but the only way they work is if you can actually see the projectile coming at you and react in time to stop it. Like, I think, who is it, Swamp Thing? And there's like 2 or 3 characters who could do it, but you could never do it online because the lag was so bad. So if they've improved the netcode to the point where now, yeah, you could actually play the game and do that, then I'd probably like it. I did enjoy both Injustice 1 and 2. And also, let's be honest, DC's kind of in the dumps right now, right? With the end of that Snyderverse cinematic universe. And now they're rebooting with Superman in a couple months here. So with James Gunn now at the helm of DC, it might be interesting to see what happens if they actually had a DC fighting game to go along with it. They could definitely sell tie-ins with, the movies coming out. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll see. I would not be against Injustice 3. I wanted Injustice 3 instead of Mortal Kombat 1. I even said I was more interested in that than another Mortal Kombat. And man, was I dead on correct, because the Mortal Kombat sucked ass. Really, we really wish it was Injustice 3, right? So, okay. So, Mortal Kombat 1 is done. Definitive Edition is on sale right now for $70. If you managed to not buy the game in the last 2 years and you want to drop $70 on a game that almost no one plays online because it sucks ass, have at it, I guess. But for me, I'll be waiting. And I wonder if the new Superman movie will be good, right? And I guess we'll see if Injustice 3 will be announced next month or not. If it is, I would probably be pleased because I want another Injustice, okay? All right, folks. That covers my topics for today. I had a good amount of stuff to talk about today on the show, so I hope that you enjoyed. Let's now, number one, let's open up to Q&A. Tag me in the chat, see what topics you guys want to talk about today. All right. And number two, let's get some support. We're at like $10. Let's get some support on the stream right now. Let's get our first tip of the day. Well, we already had a tip for $2. Let's get a bigger tip than $2. Let's get our first super chat of the day. We only had super stickers from Lenny. Let's get some super stickers on the stream. Let's get our first membership of the day. And how about over on Kick? I'm eyeballing all of you right now talking in the Kick chat. Let's get some subs. Okay. No, I do not believe I ever saw Sabu wrestle in real life, Lenny. I don't think so. Am I Sicilian? No. I'm Foggian. I'm from, my ancestors. No. Yes, my ancestors were from Foggia, Italy. Foggia. Foggia. What are we going to do for the next marathon, says Hearts to Hearts? It's a good question. I am planning the next marathon myself. I am controlling the next marathon myself. It will not have any viewer voting, interaction, nomination. That way, it's not going to be stuff that doesn't fit the format of a marathon. I will say this. It's going to be something special. It's going to be something different. I think people are going to like it. I'm excited for it, and I'm not telling you about it yet. We're waiting, because probably it's going to take place around, early June. So I'm not going to jump the gun right now and tell you about it. I'll tell you when we're closer. What's up, King Michael? How are you today? Good to see you. Narwhal Gaming says, would I consider doing taste tests every single Friday and trying out different rewards for goals hit? So you're saying do a DSP tries it every Friday regularly without hitting a goal, but then find another reward to be the goal rewards? I mean, the point of doing DSP tries it as the goal reward is that, how can I explain it? Okay, I used to do DSP tries it back in the day. It was an ongoing series that I did for YouTube. It got good views. Like, on average, a video would get between as low as 5,000, but sometimes up to like 20, 30, 40,000 views for DSP Tries It. Because of that, and because ad revenue on YouTube was something better back in the day, it would pay for itself. It would literally pay for the meal and then some. It would be profitable to do it. So I did the series ongoing for a long time, and then it probably was around 2016 that it stopped being profitable, because YouTube ad revenue plummeted, the views on the show plummeted. So me doing it, it wasn't making enough money to even pay for the meal anymore. So I said at that point I was going to retire it. Okay, I did. Then over the years, people said, why did you retire it? We want it back. DSP Tries It was an awesome series. We liked when you tried a new fast food item and we could get your opinion on it and we could decide for ourselves based on your review of it if we want to try it or not. Sometimes people would see me like something and go try it for themselves and oh, I really like that. On the flip side, sometimes people would see me try something I hated and be like, ooh, staying away from that now. I'm not even going to try it. It's a waste of time and money, right? So over the years, people kept asking to bring it back. So I said, all right, here's what we'll do. We got these new milestone rewards. Let's try it. And it's worked. Since I did this, since I brought back DSP Tries It in the fall, it's working. People get engaged. They get interested in picking what the next DSP Tries It will be, inform me of the new food items that are available. And it's not always, the kind of like fast food, like a chain. Sometimes we do local restaurants. Sometimes we do other things. We're branching out now. Like I said, now we're going to do Subway, which I haven't eaten in 8 years. But then we're going to actually order food from sit-down restaurants. That'll be interesting because I haven't had that food often. It'll be a different take, right? It'll be an interesting thing to do. So I think it's working well. It does seem to me like it is working well. All right? Now, what you're saying is do it every Friday, but then also do new other goal rewards in place of it. Well, then the show doesn't make sense. You have to understand something. The show is not profitable. DSP Tries It doesn't make money. All right? If we use it as a reward for support, then it's already pre-funded. It's okay if I can go out and spend a ridiculous amount of money on this fast food meal because you guys already supported me all week, so I can afford it. If I just start making the episodes out of nowhere, then the show's a waste of time. It's not profitable because the food is so expensive and it gets, what, a few hundred to 1,000 views? It's not like it's the most popular thing. You know what I'm saying? How much are the meals costing? They're expensive. For example, what did we just order? Wingstop? So I ordered a 20-piece wings, and then it came with a free combo. All right. The 20, I'm trying to think between the two. So if the wings were 20, the combo was free, but then you've got the delivery fee via, the service, which is anywhere between $5 to $10. You've got tip you got to leave the driver, and they mark up the price of the food. So it's probably like 5 plus 5 plus 10. It ends up being like expensive. They're $20, $25 on top of what the price would have been if you just bought it at the store to get the food for DSP Tries It. You know what I'm saying? It's expensive. Some of these things that we've gotten, I'm not kidding you. One of them was like $100. So if you're supporting me during the week, I can do the show. It's pre-funded. Get it? As opposed to, just do it out of nowhere. Well, why would I do it then? It wouldn't make any sense, right? Now, we've been talking about, hey, let's get more ideas for milestone rewards. Sure. And every time that someone has one, it's something that's not viable, that doesn't work, that I can't do. It's every time, without fail. I don't get, if I got a big amount of great suggestions, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it. But say, let's do a hot sauce taste testing. How could I do that? Right? I'm a streamer who's going to stream games today. I can't try 3 hot sauces, get sick to my stomach, and then stream games. If I was someone who my whole point of the stream was just to do stunts and raise money, then that would work, right? But that's not what I'm doing. I'm here and I'm doing different kinds of content. I'm doing, meaningful content, podcasting stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying doesn't make sense. Okay? If people had good ideas of things to do, I would do it. I'm still waiting. And then do a viewer's choice. We did. It didn't work, right? Can't do viewer's choice because the trolls ruin it. So we can't do more frequent viewer's choice. We can't do different viewer's choice. It doesn't work. Do a fan lobby. If the viewer's choice doesn't work, the fan lobby is going to be even worse. All right? So the problem is the ideas that people want, they know are things that can't happen. I'm open to other suggestions. I would love to hear other suggestions of rewards. Please give me some, and I'll consider them. But the ones that I'm hearing just aren't good. Okay? Okay. Jared from Subway has tipped $2 and says, I'm enjoying the show, my friend. I have a hard time believing it's Jared from Subway, considering that he's in a federal prison right now. for his child pornography crimes. But thank you for the $2 tip regardless, whoever it really was. I appreciate that. Now up to $13 of support. Okay. So, who's going to support via sub on Kick or a membership? I would like to have our first sub, our first member, and how about our first super chat? Because we've had super stickers, but no super chats. Did I really total a car by not changing the oil for many years? No, that never happened. I've never totaled a car by not changing the oil for many years. I totaled one car in my life. I got into a horrible car accident when I was in high school. That was it. That's the only car I've ever totaled. Any announcements I'd like to see during Summer Games Fest? I would love to see BioShock 4. I would say, well, first off, what would I like to see new? And what would I like to see redone? Because let's face it, there's going to be a lot more announcements of remasters and redone collections and things coming back. And I still say they need to do Infamous. They need to do Infamous 1 and 2, remastered, modern graphics, some tweaked controls, playable on PlayStation 5, right? They need to do that. Infamous 1 and 2 were outstanding games. And include that DLC, the Vampire DLC. What was it, Festival of Blood? Because that was a really good DLC. I think a remastered edition of Infamous 1 and 2 would sell very well. I really do. I firmly believe that. I don't know why they're forgotten. I'm confused that people act like it doesn't exist. At one point, it was synonymous with Sony first party, and now it's gone, like forgotten to history. It's very bizarre to me that that's happened. And I would like to see the return of some other Sony properties that have been gone for a while. It's just sad because some of them that they retired, like they retired Uncharted. Well, Uncharted was great. I feel like when they retire franchises like that, well, now some of the best first-party stuff is gone, and now we don't have good first-party stuff anymore, right? Remember, at one point, you had Killzone, you had, Resistance. Remember Resistance? And then you had platformers like Sly Cooper, and Ratchet and Clank, and Jak and Daxter. And then you had, action games like Infamous and Uncharted. And now all those Sony franchises are all dead. They're all dead. Think about that. So it kind of sucks. I want to see some good first-party stuff come back. We haven't had good first-party stuff in a very long time. The third-party stuff is all right, but it doesn't seem to hit as well as it used to. The third-party studios are floundering right now. So we need some, how about this? God of War. I want the new God of War. I want to know what's going on with God of War. It's been several years now since Ragnarok. I want to know what's happening in this plot. Is the next game going to be just Kratos? Is it going to be Atreus? Are they going to have their own games? Will there be a game where it's the two of them going off on their own completely separate journeys, but then they meet at the end? I want God of War updates. Okay? That's number one. I want Infamous to come back. Okay? And also, let's see. I want Super Street Fighter 2 Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Part 2. I want it to be called ST2, Super Turbo 2. And I want it to play like a classic fighting game, but with modern graphics. So imagine like Street Fighter 6X graphics, but it plays like an old fighter instead of this modern nonsense, flashy bullshit. Everything is a fucking giant rushdown combo. No. Bring me back to the days of the classics where you had to be good. You needed hand-eye coordination and skill. You needed footsies. You needed anti-airs and reactions. You needed actual strategies to win instead of just doing the same pattern over and over. They're never going to do that. It's never going to happen. They're never going to make a game like that again because now for the past decade, fighting games have been so stupidly dumbed down that people wouldn't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? they literally wouldn't know what to do. Okay? Okay. Dab Hands says nothing can play like the classics with the online bullshit anyway. Oh, Dab Hands, you don't even know. Tomorrow we're playing Capcom Fighting Collection 2. We're going to attempt to play Capcom versus SNK2 online. It's going to be a shit show. I'm telling you right now. You're not going to be able to do half the stuff you're supposed to do in the game. The timing's going to be off. It's going to be lag. It's going to be a nightmare. Good luck playing K-Groove and trying to just defend online. It's going to be a fucking pain in the ass. So I guess we'll see, but yeah, I know. It really sucks. Oh, sorry, you're gonna be yawned out of nowhere. Gabriel the Blessed has done the first official super chat of the day, $2, and he says remakes. Need for Speed Underground and Most Wanted in Chrono TRG. No. Did they already make Need for Speed Underground? I feel like they already remade it. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one. I think I might be thinking of a different one. Okay. Okay. Oh, Chrono Trigger? Chrono TRG is Chrono Trigger? Oh, I didn't know that's what you meant. Yeah, I mean, we all would love to have Chrono Trigger remade, right? No, would we not? But it seems like Square Enix is too busy remaking 17 versions of Final Fantasy VII that no one's playing anymore. They don't want to actually make good games, so I don't know. It was Most Wanted that had the remake? Okay. Spawn Killer says he'd like to have an update on Fable. Yeah, Fable went radio silent, oddly, right? They were showing gameplay. Well, not gameplay, they kept showing cinematics. And people basically kept tearing the cinematics apart, saying that the main character looks like shit. The game looks like ass. So now they just have completely gone silent and aren't saying anything about the game at all. Well, probably we might see stuff on Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts 4 gameplay has now been shown, like screens. I don't know if they were leaked or not, but they're online right now. A lot of people are talking about them. So I think we might get Kingdom Hearts 4 information soon. I'm not excited for that because Kingdom Hearts 3 was bad. It was really bad. Am I looking forward to Gear 6? I mean, that's another one. That's literally another one. Gear 6, it's been in development for how many years? Gears 5 came out, what, like 8 years ago or something crazy like that? So when Gear 6 comes out, is anyone going to care? It's been too long. Would I ever go back and replay Kingdom Hearts? I feel like you gain a better appreciation for it today versus 12 years ago. That's Zelvania saying that. Kingdom Hearts 1? I mean, is there even a viable version to play? Because Kingdom Hearts 1 was on PS3 when I played it, right? It was the PS3 HD edition. Are there any other versions on modern console I could even play? I don't know. I know they came out with like 17 collections, but that was a while ago. So I don't know if you can still play them today or not. Yes, there was a remix edition. Oh, okay. The villain says, with the success of the Silent Hill 2 remake, do you think we'll get Silent Hill 3 or Zone of the Enders remake? Well, there's a new Silent Hill coming out, Silent Hill F, right? That's the next one. And then I would guess more remakes after that. I think there will be. Zone of the Enders, I don't know anything about. So I don't know about that. That's right. And Gears of War 1 is remastered coming out this summer on Game Pass. Remember that? That's a that's an interesting thing. I mean, hopefully that'll lead to more Gears stuff because Gears is like dead at this point. I don't know what's going on with the coalition. They're dragging their feet. Someone's name on Kick is Robust Penis. And they tagged me. They said, "Good morning, King." Ah, robust penis. But I think we'll get a trailer for the new Halo. You know, I don't know about Halo anymore. I can't believe how badly 343 Industries tanked Halo Infinite. Like, you want to talk about a botch job, and like that's got to be like a case to be studied. How do you mess up that bad to have a game that's on the top of the industry? Everyone's talking about it. It's the industry leader FPS, and within like 4 or 5 months, they completely botched their game so badly, no one wants to play it ever again. How the hell do you fail so hard? I don't know how 343 can recover from that. I feel like they should take Halo away from 343 and give it to somebody else at this point because they messed it up so bad. Really? Someone says that they had to refund Doom the game. It said ray tracing was not compatible. Huh? I don't know. I've got mine on. It was whatever auto configure. I think high settings. I don't know if the ray tracing is on, but it runs beautifully on my PC. Kingdom Hearts Final Mix is the most recent version of Kingdom Hearts. I see. Yes, I will be checking out Tony Hawk 3 and 4 Collection when it comes out this summer. It's going to be tricky balancing everything this summer because there actually is a good amount coming out during the summer that's new. But typically, summer is when I do downtime stuff. Like, for example, I already told you guys I want to play Suikoden 2 HD. But also, I told you about my idea of replaying GTA 4, but this time on PC with tons of mods to make it look like a modern game, right? Better graphics, better lighting, shaders, make it look, change the city to make it look even more realistic. Like, that's what I want to do. But I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it now because there's a lot going on during the summer, new games wise. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Oh, I see. So I'm being told the new Doom only works with the latest graphics cards. My computer is from 2018 or 2019, and the game won't even launch. Damn, that's lame. When's the last time I took my automobile for an oil change? When the last time it told me it needed one. My car is equipped with the thing that says it pops up and says time for an oil change, and then you go do it. I don't know exactly when it was. I don't know when it'll pop up again, but I'll take it for the oil change when it says to do it. Doom is great, Cyrax. I really like Doom right now. I'm enjoying it a lot. No, I've never ridden a skateboard. Lenny with another $2 super sticker. Thank you, Lenny. So now we're up to $17 of support. Thank you, guys. Can we get some more? Again, we haven't gotten any subs on Kick. We got no memberships on YouTube. Come on. Yeah. It's funny because some people said, don't they put that sticker on your windshield that says when you need to get an oil change? Yeah, well, I know what mine says. Car is equipped with an automatic system and will say when it needs to be changed next. That's exactly what the sticker said. They wrote that on there. It says car is equipped with system, notification system. So I just wait for my car to tell me. Yeah, no, you have to understand something. Papa Vera just made an interesting point. He says, you've been mentioning all these issues with Kick going on. Sometimes it's the trolls in Kick chat. Sometimes the subs aren't working. Now the streams aren't working. He says, is it really worth all the trouble? It is. No, it really is because basically, um, let me put it this way. All right. Because I'm co-streaming on Kick and YouTube, this is one of the major reasons why I've seen a significant increase in income this year. And because of that, that is giving me the flexibility to do the things that I'm doing. Right now, if something breaks, I can buy a replacement. If a new game comes out of the blue, I can buy it. You see, DSP tries it. Yes, I can afford to do DSP tries it sometimes multiple times a week because I'm making extra income through Kick streaming. Yes, I'm making good money via the YouTube streaming and tips, but also the Kick streaming itself as well is significant extra income. So yeah, it is worth me going through all the annoyance of the stuff that's happening with Kick because I am making good extra money over there. So Alex from Phoenix just did a $10 super chat. He says, hey everyone, someone mentioned that a new Twisted Metal would be awesome. I agree, but make it more elaborate like the movie Death Race. Have a great day, King. Yeah, that's true. Twisted Metal came back, if you remember, the PS3 era, and it was a humongous flop. It ran like crap online, and I just screwed everything up. And it was just a huge fail. So maybe to see Twisted Metal come back today, but actually be good would be interesting. I mean, I haven't seen it, but the Twisted Metal TV show apparently was a hit. So there must be interest in it even to this day. So I wonder, would they ever bring back Twisted Metal? It's a good question. No, Sidious, see, that's incorrect. He says, that's when Keto was artificially inflating your views and they betrayed you and their supporters. Like, I'm still doing good. I want to make this abundantly clear. The initial boost that I got last year was absolutely because I was involved with Kino Casino. Now I am actually consistently making more than I used to. That's why everything is good. Do you understand? I'm hitting goals regularly. We're doing special events regularly. I'm able to do it and afford the things I need to do. Things are good right now. Okay? It has nothing to do with Kino Casino. Nothing, because that's been over for months now. And I'm still doing good. Yak Almighty says you should interview the creator of Twisted Metal and God of War, David Jaff. Is it Jaff or Jaffe? I don't know how to say his name. Since he's a YouTuber now and he works with Keemstar. Yes. Sounds like a plan. You don't get why I don't go back to Twitch because Twitch is a degenerate website run by unprofessional people. It's not dependable. That's a place that's not worth the trouble. It's also the absolute least profitable place to stream. Out of all the places that I could be streaming right now, I make less on Twitch. They take more of a cut of all the profits. It's just ridiculous. I don't know why anyone streams on that site. At any moment, they can actually say you did something you didn't do, suspend and take down your stream. They did it to me. They kicked me out of the partner program, never told me what I actually did wrong, and refused to tell me what it was so they didn't have to. So how could I, if I actually did something wrong, how could I ever improve to make sure I don't do it again if you didn't actually tell me what I've done wrong and show me evidence of it? Then they suspend my stream and say that I said the N-word, which I never said, ever. And then I disputed it, and later in the day, they reversed it. It was our mistake. Well, then it's my mistake that I'm streaming on your site is what it is. So I'm gone, and I'm never going back. That is just irrefutable evidence that there's no reason to stream on that site, that they could treat you like that, and then they take more of your money. They literally take more of your money than any other site. Why would you want to be there? Okay. Anything last minute, guys, or shall we end the show and get ready for due? Ugh. Yeah. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for a good interactive portion of the show. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the topics that we discussed today. Tomorrow, Friday, is my final streaming day of the week. Tomorrow will be a special day where we go back to classic fighting games all day long. I'm excited because I haven't played fighting games in a long time. So now to play them all day is going to be special. It's not just Friday night fights, it's just Friday fights. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very, very much for everything. Have a good day. I hope you'll check out and join me for the gameplay. But if you don't, I'll see you tomorrow for my final podcast of the week. Peace out.